Hello, Wang Automotive here, and get ready for a rant, because we're talking about the dead horse we call Lincoln. So, what is going on with Lincoln now? Like, seriously, it's only SUVs, all of which are rebadged Fords with bigger price tags and flat-screen TVs for a dash. Their sales are falling off a cliff. I mean, seriously, the entire company sold 80,000 units in 2023, which is a 2.5% decrease from 2022. The charts that should look like this are looking a lot like this. So, what happened? Well, grab Grandma and Frank Cannon's Mark V and hook up the Wayback Machine to, well, a nicer time. The turn of the century. The year 2000. Lincoln sold just 4 models at the time. The entry-level Lincoln LS, Motor Trend's Car of the Year, an amazing rear-wheel drive sedan that could compare to the BMW 5 Series, not to mention it had a manual transmission. The mid-level Continental, a fancy Ford Taurus with a front-wheel drive mounted 32-valve V8, none of which are on the road because of rust, and all of them crashed into trees because of understeer, because it's a 3,900-pound Lincoln. Then you have the flagship Lincoln Town Car, a classic body-on-frame rear-wheel drive sedan that is the weight of a battleship and drives like one. It's a top choice for chauffeurs, limo companies, lawyers, grandmas, and whatever kind of man that needed a trunk capable of holding a dozen dead bodies. And finally, you have the Navigator, a first-of-its-kind luxury SUV, basically a soccer dad's expedition with leather seats. Sales were never better, as Lincoln had dethroned Cadillac as American luxury sales king the year prior, and they were sitting at just over a hair over 200,000 units a year. Fast forward to the depressing 2020s, a time where the world couldn't be more bland and grey. A time where your options for family car is the wide variety of 16,000 crossovers that all look the same, and companies are drowning from recalls and design teams on crystal cocaine. Look at Lincoln's lineup, all SUVs. For the entry-level city-goer, you have the Lincoln Corsair, a rebadged Ford Escape with a boring turbo inline-4. Up to that is the Lincoln Nautilus, a rebadged Ford Edge with a turbo inline-4. Boring! It doesn't even get the cool twin-turbocharged V6 like the Edge. There's Oldsmobiles out there with more liveliness than this thing. Then moving up the ladder is the Lincoln Aviator, for someone with a college degree in social sciences. It's a rebadged Ford Explorer. At least it has a twin-turbocharged V6, and luckily, it's rear-wheel drive, like it should be. The top of the list is still the Lincoln Navigator, based off of the Expedition, and it is the best full-size luxury SUV out there. It's still a V6, and for extra room, you have the Navigator L, but that's boring, so we're gonna skip over it. I interrupt this video to tell you that you should subscribe to the Patreon if you have money to throw away, which is more money than I have, so subscribe. There's exclusive content, there's behind the scenes things, there's videos that will never make it to YouTube, and there's all sorts of fun things. And probably, at the end of each week, I'll personally name every single one of Patreon supporters. Hopefully, I don't have to name more than 4 people, because that's who's going to subscribe. And we've got 4 people. It's also reasonably cheap, and I'll make it cheaper. A lot cheaper. I'm talking 50 cents per month in the future. But yes, if you do enjoy, please subscribe. Oh wait, did I mention there's no V8s? It's all 4-pots, or V6s. I mean, at least in 2002 or whatever, you can get every single car in Lincoln's lineup with a V8. Granted, most of them were rebadged Fords. I mean, every one of them were rebadged Fords, except the LS. That was a better looking Jaguar S-Type. I now know why Lincoln barely sells 80,000 cars a year. They're boring, lifeless. Ford has completely forgotten about the existence of Lincoln. Not to mention they don't advertise the company anymore at all. They haven't gone above 150,000 units a year since Matthew McConaughey was caught in a Range Rover. Plus, not everyone wants an SUV these days. I mean, look across the street to Cadillac, who's completely rid themselves of the old man reputation with supercharged V8s, manual gearboxes. They're all much more exciting, something that'll get your grandma going. Granted, they only sell 20,000 sedans a year, but at least it's something. There's nothing like that at Lincoln. It's all nursing home level, mind-numbing SUVs that suck the life out of you worse than the golf girl at apartment 2C. I'll tell you exactly how to fix Lincoln. Get some gears going. The whole essence and vibe of Lincoln is acting like you're all grown up and better than everyone. You're just that guy. You have a Lincoln. You can't be them, but seriously, I've got a Lincoln. Oh yes, I'm better than you. Well, you just can't be that man if you're in a Ford Escape cosplaying as a good car. Well, your kind of buyer goes for a Mercedes sedan, not a dressed up Ford Edge. If you want a bite of the German uptight businessman, then get a sedan. Heck, you can even import the Chinese market Lincoln Zephyr to the United States, because that is a beauty. Maybe make an all-new town car or Continental to show Maybach how to build a proper luxury sedan. Try and inject some life into the dead horse you call a car company. Actually, here's an idea. Do you see the Mustang? Do you see Aston Martin? Go beat them into the ground. Supercharged V8, 760 horsepower, Lincoln Super Coupe. Extend the Mustang's chassis for better comfort, throw in the nicest interior known to man, sell the lot for 160,000 apiece. Sales. Or you can make the flagship sedan so grand Rolls-Royce would be shivering in their timbers. The entirety of Europe looks down on the American car industry. Give them a good old-fashioned uppercut to the jaw with a land yacht so majestic the Queen would come rising from the grave to buy one. I'll just show up a picture of this right here, this little Photoshop thing right here. Build that. That looks lovely. I'd put myself in debt for 100 years to get my hands on one of those. That's how you fix Lincoln. That's how you fix a dying luxury car company. Maybe put me in charge. I'll wrap this place up better than Robert McNamara did in 1960. Move it up market, make some cars that people line up to buy, and people will be piling into the dealerships. Hopefully you subscribe for more, because this has been Wang Automotive, and I will see you in the next video.